Before you buy another streaming box, stop. Because if Apple does what it's clearly building toward, the Apple TV 4K, you'll be able to plug into your TV in 2026. Won't just compete with Roku or Fire Stick. It could quietly replace your game console, your cable box, your smart home hub, and maybe even your Blu-ray player, all in one small, silent block of aluminum. Stick with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to break down what Apple is likely planning for the Apple TV 4K in 2026, how it fits into the bigger Apple ecosystem, and most importantly, whether you should actually wait for it or just buy something else right now. Quick disclaimer before we dive in, Apple has not officially announced a 2026 Apple TV yet. What you're about to hear is based on Apple's track record, realistic chip roadmaps, and where the company is clearly trying to push the living room. Treat this as an informed prediction, not a leak or a guarantee. Let's start with where we are right now. The current Apple TV 4K is already one of the fastest streaming boxes you can buy. It's smoother than pretty much any smart TV interface. It doesn't feel cheap, and it doesn't shove a ton of creepy targeted ads in your face like some competitors do. But it also has problems. It's more expensive than a Roku or Fire Stick. The gaming story is half-baked. Pell Arcade is fun, but it's not replacing an Xbox or PlayStation in most homes. There's number 8K support, and the hardware is powerful, but a lot of that power is just sitting there. Apple hasn't fully unlocked it. That's exactly why the 2026 Apple TV could be such a big deal. Because if Apple keeps following its usual pattern, the next major version isn't just going to be a little faster, a little thinner. It's going to be the box that finally connects your TV, your iPhone, your Apple Watch, your HomePods, your HomeKit devices, and even things like Vision Pro into one tight premium experience. So what does that actually look like? Start with the brain of the box, the chip. Right now, Apple's already using iPhone-class chips in the Apple TV. By 2026, the obvious move is either a high-end A-series chips, something in the A17, or A18 class, or even a low-power M-series chip, like an M2 or M3 variant, tuned for the living room. What does that actually mean for you sitting on the couch? It means loading Netflix or YouTube feels instant, animations feel like butter, and more importantly, games stop feeling like mobile ports and start creeping toward console-level detail. The GPU in those chips is good enough to push high frame rate 4K with advanced lighting and effects, as long as developers show up. Combine that with more RAM and larger storage, think 128 or even 256 gigabytes on the higher model end. Suddenly you can store real games and a ton of offline video without constantly deleting apps. The other big hardware story is future-proofing. By 2026, it would make a lot of sense for Apple to lean heavily into faster wireless, the kind of Wi-Fi that actually holds up when your whole house is streaming, gaming, and backing up to iCloud at the same time. Think Wi-Fi 7 level speed and stability. That's what you need for smooth 4K at high frame rates. Eventually for things like multi-view sports streams or cloud gaming without stutter. And yes, we need to talk about 8K. Is 8K streaming essential right now? No. Is it the kind of spec people look for in a 2026 device? Psst, absolutely. It wouldn't be shocking if the next Apple TV 4K quietly supported 8K output for the handful of people who already bought 8K TVs, while focusing most of its magic on doing 4K dramatically better 4K at 120 Hz for sports and gaming. Better HDR, tone mapping, and variable refresh rate so motion finally looks as smooth as it should. But the really interesting part isn't just picture quality. It's how this box could turn into a full-blown game console without Apple ever saying the words game console. Imagine this. You walk into your living room, pick up a controller and Xbox controller, a PlayStation controller, or a dedicated Apple controller if they ever release one, and your Apple TV instantly loads up a visually stunning game running at 4K, 60 or even 120 frames per second. Your progress syncs from your iPhone. Your saves are in iCloud. You can start playing on your Mac and finish on the TV. For a lot of people, that's good enough console gaming without dropping $500 on a dedicated box. Remember, Apple doesn't even have to rely only on local performance. With that kind of Wi-Fi hardware, Apple could lean into cloud gaming, whether that's Apple's own approach or a deeper integration with services that already exist. One box under your TV, multiple ways to play, a layer. On top of that, Apple's other big bet, the smart home. The Apple TV already acts as a home hub for HomeKit, but it's pretty invisible. By 2026, it's very likely Apple makes that front and center. Think of your TV as the command center for your house. You sit down at night, tap the remote, and a dashboard appears. Lights, locks, cameras, temperature, scenes. You see your front door camera and your backyard camera at the same time in a clean, ad-free interface. You set movie night and instantly the lights dim, the blinds close, the thermostat adjusts. Your TV switches to your favorite streaming app without you juggling 5 different remotes and 3 different apps. Under the hood, that means support for Matter, Thread, and whatever new smart home standards mature over the next couple of years. On the surface, it means the Apple TV in 2026 stops being just the thing that plays Netflix and becomes the brain of your home that anyone in your family can control. Then there's fitness. If you've ever tried Apple Fitness Plus on a TV, you already know it's pretty good. But it could be much better. With a more powerful chip, better Bluetooth, and a more mature software stack, your Apple TV could become a serious fitness hub. Picture this. You start a workout on your TV, your Apple Watch connects automatically. Your heart rate and calorie burn show up live, but now the system can also recognize who's in the room. Multiple people wearing Apple Watches, all their stats on screen at once. The Apple TV uses machine learning to track your form through the iPhone or iPad camera, giving you real-time feedback if your posture is off or if you're not going deep enough in a squat. Over time, it uses on-device intelligence to recommend workouts based on your recovery, your sleep, and your progress, without shipping your private health data off to some random server. That's the kind of integration that keeps people locked into Apple's ecosystem, and it makes the Apple TV way more than a streaming box. We also have to talk about Vision Pro and spatial computing, because by 2026, Apple will almost certainly still be pushing that hard. A 2026 Apple TV could be the bridge between your big screen and your headset. Imagine watching a regular movie on your TV, then putting on a Vision Pro and having the experience instantly jump into a giant virtual theater, while everyone else in the room keeps watching on the physical TV, or using the Apple TV as the anchor for shared spatial content sports. Concerts, events where some people are seeing an enhanced view through a headset, while others see a super polished broadcast. On the TV, technically, that means tight, low-latency wireless connections between the Apple TV and Apple's headsets. Enough power to handle multiple video streams at once, and software designed so it all feels seamless. No settings hunting, no input switchings. It works. All of this sexy hardware and big ideas don't mean much if the software stays the same. TVOs in 2026 almost has to evolve. You can expect deeper personalization profiles that actually feel like profiles, your own apps pinned, your own watch list across every service. Smarter recommendations based on what you actually watch, not whatever show a studio paid to promote that week. Siri is another piece of the puzzle. On an Apple TV powered by a next-gen chip, more of Siri can run entirely on device. It means faster responses, better privacy, and more contextual commands. You say, "Siri, it's game night," and your Apple TV switches to your console. Input turns on game mode on your TV, bumps up the brightness, and lowers the lights. You say, "Show me all cameras," and lock the doors, and it just happens. The last piece a lot of people underestimate is the remote. It sounds boring until you've spent 10 minutes digging your current remote out from under the couch. By 2026, it's reasonable to expect an even more refined Siri remote. USB-C for charging, maybe a slightly tweaked shape for better grip, more precise tracking on the click pad, and yes, hopefully a built-in Find My Remote feature. That lets you ping it from your phone when it disappears into the couch abyss. Now let's talk about the 2 questions that really matter, price and timing. Because this is where Apple either wins the living room stays stuck as the expensive option for Apple fans. Historically, the Apple TV 4K has been priced well above basic streaming sticks. That probably doesn't change. But what Apple could do by 2026 is split the lineup. Cheaper, smaller Apple TV stick or mini box aimed purely at streaming. And a more powerful, more expensive Apple TV for K, call it the Pro if you want that, leans hard into gaming, smart home control, and deeper integration with the rest of your Apple devices. In terms of timing, Apple has typically refreshed the Apple TV every few years, not every 12 months. That puts a more advanced box landing sometime in the mid-2020s, and then maturing with software updates through 2026.